Well, hello and welcome to all of our Gold participants from around the world. Welcome to our Gold family who's listening in today. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC for Gold Learning Online Conferences. Well, it's just delightful that we have Barbara Robertson here today, and look at this hot topic that she's going to be talking about, which we'll certainly dive into in just a moment. But I do want to let you know she is going to be part of our Gold Lactation Conference this year, which is right around the corner. So exciting, and if you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, please go online, goldlactation.com. It's easy peasy, and you can check it all out. Barbara is going to be part of our Tools of the Trade lecture pack, which has got some other incredible speakers there too, who we have been pre-recording for your convenience. Great way to get online and listen any time of the day or night, depending if you're doing night shift or not. So with that, why don't we dive in and get Barbara to reintroduce herself to you. So Barbara, why don't you go ahead and reintroduce yourself to our listening audience today. Tell them a little bit about where you're living these days and what's going on in your world.
Oh, thank you so much, Fiona. I'm so excited to be here, and thanks to Gold for having me back. I love speaking. That's one of my favorite things to do. So, gosh, I'm still in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I have a private practice, the Breastfeeding Center of Ann Arbor. If you're a podcast fan, we do have great podcasts, so check that out. But yeah, my kids are in college now, which is, exciting. Hopeful for the future, But yeah, they're doing well. When your kids are doing well, you're doing well. Yeah, and things are just moving along.
Oh, isn't that the truth about our children? It's so funny how we're just, at the end of the day, we're kind of all grounded in the fact that if our kids are doing okay, we can keep moving forward, especially when they reach that age where literally they're out on their own, and hopefully we've given them all the tools, Barbara, right?
Exactly. Very much so.
Well, that's awesome. So tell me, I know you have been pretty busy. As you mentioned offline, you're a busy bee, which I know so many things going on in your life, but I certainly wanted to hear more of what you're actually working on right now, because I know you've taken a little bit of a time out for us to come and record with us today. But why don't you share a little bit about what's happening in the imminent future with you, and what's going on in your lactation field?
Yeah, I have just dove right back in. I took a little bit of a hiatus. I was creating an online training for a K through 12 school. My original foundation is curriculum development, and so I was hired to do that project. And so I do that. I still saw clients in my private practice, but my own curriculum development for breastfeeding just took a little bit of a pause for about 6 months. But then while I was doing the online training for the school, I really came up with a different idea as to how to do my own 90-hour course. I was doing 5 days in person and then a break and then 5 days in person. And it was really exhausting for me, but also for my participants.
Right.
So because of the familiarity of my online training, I now have 20 hours of pre-work, we're calling it, where, you listen to podcasts, you watch videos, you read articles, and then you have assignments that need to be turned in. And then we get together for 3 days, take a break, 20 hours again of assignments and work, pre-work, and then we get together for 3 days again. And it's been amazing for all of us.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So the feedback's been good too from the students.
They're loving it. And we're using all kinds of technology. We're using Zoom for check-ins. Yeah, so that has been a huge project. And then also, I was hired by the state of Michigan to do a senior peer counselor training. And so that is a training that's available for any peer counselors, any states around, the country as well. But I've really, it's the second time I'm teaching it, and I'm just so excited about that. And then, of course, my big Nipple Shield project, which is this, we're going to talk about it today, this presentation. So, yeah. And then, of course, there's always professional work. Helped plan the United States Lactation Consultant Association Conference and presenting there.
Great.
I know. That's coming up in May. And then also just really reconnecting to my local coalition, the Washtenaw County Breastfeeding Coalition, and about to become co-chair of that again. You've got to think globally but work locally.
Oh, I
So
love that.
so much going on, right? Always.
Yeah, no, that's really fabulous. And I wondered what you were doing. But isn't that the truth? There's a real sense of wanting to, do big things globally. And I talk about global things all the time, but I have a real yearning to work in my own little, community with my peers and coworkers and, just connecting with them. And then of course our families, as well,
Yes.
like our local families that we connect to. And of course, I'm sure like me, you get lots of calls and it can be quite demanding with teaching and consulting and all those things and speaking and all those types of things. But we try to do our best and balance it out as much as we can. And I'm sure maybe you talk a little bit about balance in your family as well. Do you, Barbara?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And it is this balance of working for pay and giving back to the community. I offer a weekly free drop-in support group.
Mm.
Going back to my Lactation League roots, I'm a
Yeah.
Lactation League leader. And
Mm.
so, doing the free work, taking care of your family, running a business, just a lot going on all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, to be a woman at work today, right? It's a little different. It's a little
It's
different,
very different. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also have my roots in the Leshy League too, so
Mm.
it's a great place to be in our culture and society today. We're moving things forward, so that's awesome. Well, thanks
Yeah,
for sharing.
absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. It's always good to catch up and hear what's happening in your life there. And now I just want to switch gears and talk about this big project because, boy, for those of you who are just looking at the title slide, you're in for a huge treat. You need to come back and watch the full presentation. I know it's going to blow you away. This is, and I think it has been for a long time, the Great Nipple Shield debate. And I know that you're going to be diving deep into this and sharing lots about it. But perhaps you just want to give a couple of little teasers away, Barbara, to our
Right.
listening audience today, just to entice them, because I know they're going to be wondering: is it good? Is it bad? What's happening? So let us know.
Yeah, I've always heard that there was a lot of controversy about using nipple shields. In my practice, I didn't feel like there was. It's
Hmm.
tricky using nipple shields, but in my personal world, again, we're going to talk about this. It's about decision making. It's about good assessment. It's about knowing the right time and place. But
Mm.
there's some research out there that can confuse people. There are a lot of beliefs out there about nipple shields that have been founded. And there's some people that are like never use a nipple shield. And then
Right.
we know they're also the opposite. There's some people out there who use it way too often.
Hmm.
So it's trying to find that balance. And so diving into the research, doing a little research of my own, and then really kind of putting together, I think, some common sense
Ooh.
suggestions to help us all as a profession move forward a bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think, yeah, I mean, I still hear quite a bit of controversy. I think just a mismanagement overall, I think is what
Yeah.
we see, right? And, it's really hard when you finally see the client and here they are using a nipple shield, but poorly,
Right.
and things are
Yes.
going poorly, and so
Yes.
a lot of undoing to happen. And we often won't use them. If we're there at the very beginning or of the onset, then of course, I mean, we'll do our absolute best. But if it's a case of not breastfeeding, there could be an argument, between if it's going to save that breastfeeding relationship, right, Barbara?
Absolutely. And I think that that is where our skills are just so critical. And really, the theme of what I found is it's the lack of oversight, it's the lack of follow-up care that is causing the biggest problems with nipple
Right.
shield use. It's not the tool itself, it's how we use it, and then
Yeah.
whether we're following up with families or not.
Oh gosh. Yeah. And there's lots
Yeah.
lots to be said about that. I feel like I
Oh,
I want to get right into it right now, but
oh, it's
I
exciting,
it
Fiona.
is.
It's so
I
exciting.
know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think
absolutely.
this is going to be a great conversation. And for those of you who are listening in right now, as part of our Gold conference as well, Barbara has an opportunity not only to, she has an opportunity to respond on our forums. And that's of course, for our registered delegates. But it really is, I'm hoping to see some really good conversation there. And I'm excited to see what the feedback is. in talking about it, just because it has been one of those topics that has, we sort of dance around, should we, shouldn't we, and then what does it really mean? So it'll be exciting to see those that if you've registered already, you already know about the forums, and if you're thinking about it, well, and you really want to get this education under your belt, as you should, then this will be a great way to keep that conversation going, not only with Barbara, but for all of you out there who are wanting all this information and discussion about this topic too. So, well, thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, I love the forums, and I think that, one of the disadvantages of making a recording is it's not a conversation. It's basically me, here's my thoughts. And so I love, being asked questions. And so take some notes, jot down some questions while you're watching the presentation, and then let's ask them. Let's have a conversation on the forum. Sounds exciting.
Yeah, let's get into it, as we like to say. So that'll be great. Well, thank you so much. This has been fun chatting with you. I can't wait to see you in person. That will be right around the corner. I will see you at USLCA, which is great, and to be able to hug it out there in person.
Absolutely.
But in the meantime, we've got a job to do today. We're going to get on and get that recording set up and get it done so that our listeners will be able to join us for the full conference, which starts right around the corner, April 1st, if you can believe that, Barbara. We're right on the tipping scales here. Can't believe that we're almost there, 4th month into our year 2019. So if you are listening in and you'd like to know more about the conference, please join us on the website at www.goldlactation.com. Now, as I mentioned, Barbara is going to be part of the Tools of the Trade add-on package, so you can look that up as well. But some other exciting things to bring you in on board. There's some free education as part of our Gold Lactation Conference. We do have 2 free and open access keynotes. And that first one is actually going to be on April 1st with Kathleen Kendall-Tackett, so we'll look forward to having you there. You can come yourself, you can bring your colleagues, but it'll be a great day of learning together. And if you can't make it on the day, of course, you can listen to the recording as well. Well, a big thank you to Barbara Robertson for being with us here today. Thank you, Barbara, for joining me here today.
Thank you, Fiona, for having me. And again, thank you to Gold for inviting me.
Oh, you're so welcome. And of course, to our audience listening in, it's always great chatting with you guys, and any feedback you want to send our way, we'll be glad to chat with you as well, and we'll see you all online. Thanks again, everyone, and have a great day. Bye-bye for now.